Hey, 8th grade. This is Hollenbeck here, and just thought I'd get out the vocab 1 lesson for you today. I do want to make mention, for those of you who are in Latin, that this workbook does a great job of helping you in that class as well, because most of our words have Latin or Greek roots. If you look in the front pages, they have Latin roots and Greek roots. They have Latin prefixes, Latin suffixes. So this is a great source to use if you are in Latin as well. Okay, so don't be afraid to combine and conquer there. So we're on page 3. This is an analogy lesson, and I don't know, I think this worked out well for the majority of you last year, so I can't I don't know if there's something else that I can do to help you with this, but I thought I made the access a little bit easier. Typically I won't be doing these in my classroom, but I have a lot to do at home tonight, so I thought, oh, if I could get one done during the day, here I will. So I will also be saving this on the school computers, like oh, what was it, the shared data drive, so you know, you could access it there as well. Even though we don't have a formal time for vocab Wednesdays, that's Shakespeare Day. That is the day, okay? That is the day to ask questions about vocab. I'll be more than happy to help you with it. And also on that first Wednesday, I'll make sure I have another cheat sheet for you, an analogy cheat sheet, because I know that's a really good tool. So here we go. On page 3 of lesson 1, our first word is accentuate. Accentuate. It's a verb. All right. And in these lessons, I can accentuate different aspects of our vocab words, meaning I can emphasize them to help you in your understanding of the word. All right. So if you accentuate something, you emphasize it. I might accentuate one syllable in the pronunciation, because that's where the accent is. Accentuate. Okay. So it's a verb. Accentuate. Number 2, ambiguous is an adjective. Ambiguous is if information is unclear, or you know, you're not sure what message is being sent. It could be taken more than one way. That information is unclear. All right. Sometimes political messages can be ambiguous. All right. They can say or mean more than one, or can be taken more than one way, and so you're like, okay, now what do they mean? Right? If you're left asking a question, it was an ambiguous message. Okay? Ambiguous is an adjective. And I just thought about something that I wanted to tell you, but then I started thinking about the meaning of ambiguous and I forgot. So when I think about it, when it dawns on me again, then I'll interrupt this message for a different message. The third word is comprehensive. Comprehensive is an adjective. Comprehensive is it means a full scope. All right. If I gave you a comprehensive study of Shakespeare, which I try to do, we take a look at every type of play, which we will. We will read one of his sonnets. Okay, we probably won't look at one of his narrative poems, but that would be a comprehensive look. We get his whole body of work. We get a look at it. That would be comprehensive. All right. The opposite of comprehensive might be very singular, very limited. Okay, and there's a time and a place for that as well. When you get into college, you might become more specified in your studies, but a comprehensive look would be, well, the whole scope of, when I was in college, I did British Lit, and so we took a look at all, throughout the years, from the beginning to the contemporary authors. Okay, so comprehensive, full scope. Okay, and that is an adjective, as I mentioned. And I did think of what it was that I was going to tell you. I'll be putting this video up on my teacher page on the Bethlehem website. And I think I have the vocab pages there, but if not, I know I have the vocab pages on Digital Locker. So I'll have copies here also for you, but I'm not going to give those to you until Monday. I'm not going to give them to you on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we won't be here anyway. All right. So, but if you want to get a jump on things, many of you are awesome at not procrastinating, and I really appreciate that about you. Then you get a jump on things. Okay. Excuse me. Number 4 is felicitous. Felicitous is an adjective. All right, and felicitous, an exact synonym might be appropriate. Okay. Friendly, kind, appropriate, not real harsh and loud. A felicitous message. Let me try to explain a scenario. Let's say we're attending a funeral, and the pastor gets up and starts ranting and raving about the bad things that the deceased had done in his life. That would not be a felicitous message. That wouldn't be appropriate. The people who are mourning this person's passing would be like, what are you talking about? It's just not an appropriate place for that, to share that kind of information. So the message would not be felicitous. All right. So not only are the words in a message appropriate, but the emotions and the connotations that are associated with those words are also appropriate. Okay, so a felicitous message, like at a funeral, would be more of a hope-filled, comforting, that sort of feel. Okay, we save the harsh and this sort of thing for a debate or something like that. Okay, so felicitous means appropriate, and when you use the appropriate words, then you're going to get that's going to evoke the appropriate response. Okay, and that's what felicitous is. Intricacy. Intricacy is a noun. The adjective form, you probably are familiar with intricate. If something is intricate, like computer stuff, that's intricate. And I don't understand all the intricacies that go into a computer. We had this morning, our meeting that was about all the iPads, the computer stuff. Here's the number for this, here's the number for that, here's what you do, here's the step you take. Here are 801 billion steps to do one thing, you know. I'm like, these intricacies. Way above me. So I took copious notes. Whether or not they will help me remains to be seen. But anyway, intricacy, it's a condition of being complicated, being detailed, involved. Okay. I don't know that anything that I do is that complicated. Not like computers. Anyway, maybe to you it might be, but not to me. 6, introspective. Introspective is an adjective. And to help you understand what introspective is, I'm going to give you the noun forms, person. So you could kind of attach it to a person. There are such things, such people as extroverts and introverts. Okay? So an introvert is an introspective person. An extrovert is all the emotions are out there. Okay, what you see is what you get. They are, you don't have to wonder what they're thinking about, because they say it or they act it out. Okay, are you thinking of some people that this may, that you could attach that, oh, that person is definitely an extrovert. All right, they wear their emotions on their sleeve. You could tell exactly how they're feeling. Okay, an introvert kind of absorbs all these external stimulus or stimuli, and then they ponder it. They're introspective. They keep it inside and they think about it and ponder it, and make applications, synthesize this information before they address an issue, perhaps, all right, or before they comment on it. Okay. So introspective people are usually very quiet. Now, it doesn't mean that they're shy or that they don't have something to say. They just think about it more and then make their comment. Okay, so don't introspective people, they have opinions as well, and they just choose to think about what they're going to say before they say it. Extroverts, and I know I'm kind of like this, I like to talk things through, and sometimes if I get them out there, then I can, if I can verbalize it, that helps me form a better understanding of something. Okay, sometimes I just have to talk it through, and then on some issues I just need to think it through. All right, so and I think probably most of us are like that. On some issues where we have to think things through, and on other issues, you know, we talk things through. Okay. Provocative. Provocative is an adjective. Okay. Provocative, it comes from the word provoke, And provoke, if you look in the front of your book, voke is a Latin root, and pro is a Latin prefix, and it means to act forth or bring forth. Okay, and so, or bring out. Okay, provoke. If I were to say on the first day of school that the retreat has been canceled, that would provoke, I believe, a response, right? I think there would be some frustration. I would be frustrated and disappointed, okay? That would incite some disappointment. So provocative is anything, because it's an adjective. It can be anything that causes a very passionate response. Okay? If something is provocative, it stimulates the emotions. Now, a speech can be very provocative. It can get people really thinking and really, pumped up. I think probably how you might have heard the word used. People can dress provocatively, meaning they dress in such a way to cause attention drawn to themselves. All right. That's why in our dress code we ask that you don't dress provocatively. Okay. I want you to dress a little more modestly, I guess would be the opposite of that. Anyway, so provocative is stimulating some emotion. Okay, so it's something that would stimulate emotion. That's that word. Rhetorical is an adjective. Okay, and rhetorical, and I'm sure you've heard it used with a rhetorical question. This is a question that really doesn't require an answer. Well, the reason it's a rhetorical question is because the words have been used so effectively, so efficiently, just the right words were chosen that no answer is required. Everybody knows the answer because the words that were chosen were effective. They were used how they were meant to be used for communication, the right communication to happen. Rhetorical comes from the word rhetoric. Rhetoric is writing and speaking, communication. All right, and so if something is rhetorical, it is an effective use of words or any form of communication. Excuse me. Now this can have another meaning, because you know how words grow in their meaning, and that's why our language, that's why learning English and grammar, and that's why we do it every year, because our language is a growing thing. Okay, it's never just the same. All right, it grows. And so rhetorical used to be very almost synonymous with the word verbose, where you're showy in your words. Okay, and sound puffed up in your speaking. Okay, not so much anymore. All right. Let's see. Usurp. Now this is a word you should be familiar with. We used that word quite often last year when we studied Macbeth. Remember, usurp is a verb, and Macbeth usurped the throne. He butted in line. Remember, we had Duncan, Malcolm, Donalbain, then Macbeth, and he butted in line. Okay? To usurp, it's a verb, it means to forcefully take power. Okay? Not just, and you can kind of get this idea in your mind if you've ever seen somebody really butt in line. There's some force there, there's some physical contact there, but definitely this is not just, oh, excuse me, I think I'm next, sort of thing. Okay? Usurp requires some physical force. Okay? And our last word is vernacular. Vernacular is a noun and an adjective. Okay? And for those of you last year who read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, they used a particular vernacular. Alright? It can refer to the speech patterns or the colloquialisms of a particular region. Alright? The type of language used in a particular region of the United States. The 7th graders are reading that very first thing, and so we're going to listen to it to try to get a feel for you know, how that sounds. Vernacular can also mean kind of the everyday language that we use. Okay? Our vernacular language is that which we would use every day. It's not like a formal speech or a formal essay in which we would try to use our best rhetoric. Okay? Vernacular is just the regular language of the, of the area. Okay? I'm sure the language that you use with your friends might not be the same language that you use when you're doing a presentation in front of parents or something like that, right? So that's vernacular. Okay. I think 126 would be our analogies. And like I said, I'll give you that cheat sheet along with the packet of lessons. I'll give that to you if you don't want to download them. Our first set of analogies, allegory and story. Now, allegory is a word that we'll find out about in lesson 2. Allegory is a noun, story is a noun. Alright, so we have 7 choices. Great. If any of you have read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, if any of you, well, I'll go back to the 7th graders, what the 7th graders are reading. They're also going to be reading Animal Farm, 2nd quarter. That's a political allegory. And an allegory is it's a story with consistent symbolism. Consistent. If you read Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, you know that Aslan is a representation, or he's symbolic of Christ. Okay? And that is consistent through all those stories. Okay? So an allegory is a type of story that has consistent symbolism. Okay? So think about that sentence, and I think you'll get your answer. If you don't remember, the templates or the hints, please ask me. Okay? I'll help you. Number 2, comprehensive is an adjective. Remember, comprehensive. Limited is an adjective. Comprehensive, limited. Both adjectives, 3 choices. Actually, I pretty much gave it away. So, number 3, felicitous is an adjective. Appropriate is an adjective. Go back, look at what you wrote down for clues. Okay? Number 4, ferocious is an adjective. That's a word that you'll have in the 2nd lesson. And lion is a noun. Adjective, noun. It can only be one thing. Okay. Number 5, incongruous is an adjective. Harmonious is an adjective. Incongruous, it's a word that we'll have in the second. But think about math. I know, me talking about math, shocking. But incongruent lines, think about incongruent lines. Okay, that can help you. Number 6, intricacy is a noun, complexity is a noun. I don't get the intricacies of the computer. I don't get the complexities of the computer. Okay. Number 7, introspective is an adjective. Self-analysis is a noun. Adjective, noun. Okay. Number 8, prologue. Prologue is a word we'll have in the second unit. Prologue is a noun. Play is a noun. Okay. In Henry V, when we read Henry V, there will be a prologue. All right. It comes at the beginning of the play. Okay. Just like an overture might come at the beginning of, you know, the symphony. Okay, or maybe a musical. When you watch Sound of Music on the DVD, they give you this whole big, they play a little bit of each song that's going to be throughout the musical, and that's kind of the overture. Same thing as a prologue. Okay. Number 9, protagonist is a noun, character is a noun. Okay. We've talked about what a protagonist was. Remember, he's one that struggles for something. Okay. Number 9 is very similar to number 1. Okay. And finally, number 10, provocative is an adjective. Stimulating is an adjective. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I do believe that the lesson 1 quiz has to be taken by the 23rd. I believe that's accurate, that the lesson and the quiz need to be turned in by the 23rd. Okay. Now, don't go with the 7th graders. Don't think, oh, the 7th graders have the same schedule, because they're going to be one behind you all the time. I need to work with them on theirs because we just want to make sure that this is their first time to the flipped classroom. So I need to make sure that they're getting what they need to get. All right, so don't base your understanding on what 7th graders are doing. All right, take charge. Okay. Anyway, talk to you soon. Bye now.